2 years ago, Manchester City were on the verge of losing a superstar in 𝗲𝘂𝘁𝘁 Sané, and they actually did to Bayern Munich. But Pep Guardiola was very smart in getting a player back that could replace him with even better attributes at an absolute bargain of 23 million euros. I'm of course talking about Ferran Torres, and regardless now of whether he actually ends up moving to Barcelona as the rumors now suggest, I think it will be important for us to take a deeper look into this player. So follow us in this new episode of Player Spotlight, and let's get started. Born on the magical and unique 29th of February of 2000, Ferran Torres joined the academy of the local community club, of course that being 𝗯ance 𝗀𝘂𝘂𝗶𝗶𝗲, at only age 6. Of course, since that age he has come leaps and bounds, progressing and going to both World Cups with the U-17 teams of Spain and U-19s. Over the 2017 and 2018 season, Ferran Torres started to make more sporadic appearances in Valencia's first team, often coming off the bench in the last 10 minutes and appearing for games in La Copa del Rey. In the next following season of 2018-2019, Ferran Torres started to become a little more prominent in the side, yet it was still very early for a club of the size of Valencia to rely on an absolute teenager. Quality-wise, it wouldn't really be an exaggeration to tell you that Ferran Torres is probably the most talented player La Paterna has produced in recent years. We take a look at players like Carlos Soler, 𝗀𝘂𝘁𝘂𝗁 that are still in Valencia, and I feel that Ferran Torres is a level above them and potentially could be the best player ever since 𝗀𝘂𝘁𝗂𝗁 that they once produced. In total, 97 appearances later for Valencia, well, he joined Manchester City. And I gotta say that they backed themselves a true bargain. Torres is a forward first and foremost, having played all across the front line so far in his career. Even though he started off as a wide right midfielder, he slowly but surely transitioned into a center forward, a striker per se, and now he performs that role extremely well under Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. Despite that being how he's playing right now, I feel that to explain Torres' attributes, we need to take a step back and actually look at him when he was a proper winger at Valencia. The Spanish international is an electric footballer. At Valencia, the type of classic winger or number 7 that is so scarce to see these days. Rather than being an inverted winger, he's a natural right-footed right winger. This gives him the ability to change direction and mostly stick to the exteriors of the field. Using his great stride, agility, and outstanding dribble skills, he of course loves being vertical, influencing the entire dynamics of his flank. Torres offers many runs in behind, through the wings, and that is something that is mostly kind of gone now in the game, with most of the wingers just wanting to cut in and shoot on goal. I feel that when you're looking at a player who has this clarity, this directness, you won't find anyone better than Ferran Torres at doing that. And precisely because of those reasons, those attributes, it's why Pep Guardiola has seen a future in him through the middle. Perhaps the most underrated of Torres' traits is his clever positioning and intelligent off-the-ball runs. Getting to advantageous positions due to his own technical ability is rather impressive, but the now 21-year-old is also mature enough to read the game. Well, even when he's receiving that at the end of a pass. When we talk specifically about offensive duels, those numbers are slightly lower, with 9.74 on average and 41.11. Because of these understandings of the game, like I said before, Guardiola started to move him a little bit centrally. But that of course isn't going to be the case in any team that he goes to. For instance, the teams that he's being linked to right now in Barcelona, they are more desperate to get someone through the wings, and I feel that is still something that Ferran Torres can replicate, because he has that natural goal scoring ability and the understanding of the game to get himself in those advantageous positions. So no matter where you want to play him throughout the entire front three positions of a 4-3-3, he's gonna do admirably. Due to his authoritative figure, Ferran Torres attracts many defenders whenever he has the ball. This produces more space for his fellow forwards, who can get at the end of his supplies for goal-scoring opportunities. In addition, he can also be the one providing the passing options when he doesn't have the ball. Being in continuous movement and sprinting, he of course tries to find open spaces to offer a passing lane to the ball possessor. Staying out wide or running behind the back line, the 21-year-old attracts many markers with his moves too, and that is something that will make him just as dangerous through the wings as he will do through the middle. The final aspect that we have to take a look at Ferran Torres is of course when they don't have the ball. And let me tell you that his pressing movements are also very good. For instance, when he's on the ball and Manchester City drop into a defensive shape, the 21-year-old winger will often remain higher up the pitch, but will look to start the press alongside other of his forwards. This is something that Manchester City does very well and why Pep Guardiola is able to create such a competitive side. In return, this makes him a pressing forward, making him possible to combine with plenty of other creative or pacey wingers like Grealish, Mahrez or Sterling, and similar players he could find at Barcelona like Dembele, Memphis and Fati. Pep Guardiola has publicly compared him to somebody who honestly, now that you understand a little bit more of him, makes sense, and that is Jamie Vardy. Why? Because of his runs in behind and his clinical ability to find spaces through the middle. And I believe that is one of the key aspects that makes Ferran Torres such a deadly forward, and a forward that any team would be lucky to have. This is even boosted now with his finishing. When searching for wingers or forwards who can be natural goal scorers that do runs in behind and their awareness for opportunities are just very good, finishing of course has to be taken into account. Torres doesn't often take long strides with dribbles into the box. He already looks for one-touch action to beat a pass or a shot in within the 6-yard box. Inside the penalty area, he averages 10.25 expected goals, which is honestly incredible, and an expected assist of 6.43. So far in his career as a professional footballer, he has 12 goals, 44 key passes, and 6 assists in within the 18-yard box. Clinical, if you ask me. But of course, we must remember that Ferran Torres is not the finished article. In contrast to other players of his similar age, he has played relatively lesser football, and I also gotta admit that he hasn't been that prolific. Raheem Sterling, for instance, scored 30 plus goals last season, and Riyad Mahrez was directly involved in 29 goals, but there are wingers playing on their weaker sides. Given what Torres has shown, it seems that the signing from Valencia is going to provide some assists to the team instead of finishing a lot of them themselves, and honestly I think that he could be better served as a right winger for Guardiola. Despite oppositional play concepts, Torres should also learn not to overcomplicate things. At Valencia, sometimes he was dispossessed because of unnecessary touches or turn-ins. This might not happen at City as Pep wants to control and they need to avoid giving possession away, but Torres also needs to put a lot more effort defensively with relentless running and tireless legs to press and counter-press for the side. Another aspect that I feel that Ferran Torres shall improve on if he remains in the Premier League is his physicality, because as we know, the Premier League is often regarded as one of the most physical leagues in the world. In the Euros, he was often dispossessed quite easily. Because of his body shape, well, he doesn't know really how to control or be able to mark the ball with using his body size. And I feel that that should be a place for advantageous, well, duels and markings rather than just having a player being dispossessed easily. So Ferran Torres needs to be taking a look at that, and perhaps some more days in the gym could do. It's not often that you see a player like Ferran Torres and we can tell you that he is a complete article. He won't be that, but of course he's a complete forward, and that is very unique to him at this age. There are not that many players that I can tell you and pinpoint you that can play through the middle, through the wings and be equally as effective, especially when it comes to, well, his goal scoring ability. So no matter whether Ferran Torres remains at Manchester City or moves to Barcelona, I feel that he's gonna be a very key player that we should keep an eye on for years to come. That's gonna be everything for today, guys. Hope you have enjoyed this video about Ferran Torres. That's gonna be it for right now, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao, ciao.